Hello everyone. Let us see what is meant by refraction through spherical surface. Before this, we can recall about the refraction. What is meant by refraction? Whenever a ray of light passes obliquely from one transparent medium to another, it deviates from its path. This phenomenon of change in path of light as it travels from one medium to another is called refraction. In case of refraction, we are already discussed that when the ray travels from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. And when the ray travels from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. And we are already studied the laws of refraction as the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal to the interface at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. And another one law which is known as Snell's law, which state as the ratio of the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant for a given pair of media and for a light of a given wavelength. And this ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is known as refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. Now let us discuss the refraction through spherical surfaces. In this part, refraction through spherical surfaces, you must know what is meant by this spherical refracting surface. Spherical surface is a portion of a solid sphere. Refraction takes place at a spherical surface in accordance with the laws of refraction which hold good for a plane surface. A spherical refracting surface is a part of sphere of refracting material. Now, a refracting surface which is convex towards the rarer medium is called convex refracting surface, where a refracting surface which is concave towards the rarer medium is called concave refracting surface. That is, there are two types of refracting surfaces, one convex refracting surface and another one is concave refracting surface. Now we consider here these two refracting surfaces. In the first case, the refracting surface is convex towards the rarer medium, and this is known as convex refracting surface. And in the second case, the refracting surface is concave towards the rarer medium is called concave refracting surfaces. Now, there are some key terms which are related with these refracting surfaces. Now, in this diagram, A, P, C, B, it is known as the principal axis. C is the center of curvature. P be the pole and R be the radius of curvature. Now, these are the key terms which are used in this type of spherical refracting surfaces. We'll discuss in detail here. So, first one is aperture, which is denoted by A. The area of spherical surface available for refraction is called aperture. Then pole, the midpoint of spherical surface is called pole. In this diagram, P be the midpoint of these two refracting surfaces and it is known as a pole of refracting surface. Another one term which is very important, which is known as center of curvature. The center of sphere of which the given surface forms a part is called center of curvature. It is denoted by letter C. And radius of curvature, it is defined as the radius of sphere of which the spherical surface forms a part is called radius of curvature. And one more, that is principal axis, the straight line passing through the pole and center of curvature is called principal axis. Now once again we recall the diagram. In this case, P represent pole, that is midpoint of the refracting surfaces. C represent center of curvature, and distance between pole and center of curvature, it is known as radius of curvature. Now we will see, while studying this refraction through spherical surfaces, there are some assumptions. First assumption is the object is the point object lying on the principal axis. Another one assumption is there, that is the incident and refracted rays make small angles with the principal axis. That is angle of incidence and angle of refraction must be small. One more assumption, the aperture, that is the diameter of the curved surface, is very small. Now to study this refraction through spherical surfaces, you must know the sign conventions. And here we study new Cartesian sign conventions. First convention, the incident ray is taken from left to right. All the distances are measured from the pole of the refracting surfaces. The distances measured along the direction of the incident ray are taken positive, and against the incident ray are taken negative. That is, distances are measured from the pole, and the distances which are in the direction of incident ray are always positive, and the distances which are against the direction of incident ray are always negative. The vertical distances measured from principal axis in the upward direction are taken positive, and in the downward direction they are taken negative. Now we will study the refraction at convex surface. Initially we will see how the real image is formed, that is when the ray of light is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium. Here we consider the convex surface, that is convex side of the refracting surface is towards the rarer medium. Mu1 be the refractive index of rarer medium, where mu2 be the refractive index of denser medium. C be the center of curvature for this convex surface, and P be the pole of this given convex surface. This is the principal axis, which is the straight line passing through the pole of refracting surface and the center of curvature of the surface. Let we consider an point object O placed on the principal axis. Here, initially, the ray of light coming from rarer medium incident on the refracting surface and get refracted in the another medium, that is denser medium, and meet the principal axis at point I, where another one ray coming from the point object passing in the straight line through pole of the refracting surface and center of curvature. Here we can draw the normal passing through the center of curvature. Let I be the angle made by incident ray with the normal, which is known as angle of incidence. Draw AM perpendicular to the principal axis. Let R be the angle made by refracted ray with normal, that is angle of refraction. Let alpha be the angle made by incident ray with principal axis. Beta be the angle made by refracted ray with principal axis. Gamma be the angle made by normal at center of curvature with principal axis. Let r be the distance between center of curvature and the pole, which is known as radius of curvature. Let u be the distance of object from the pole, that is object distance, where v be the distance of image from the pole, which is known as the image distance. U be the object distance and v be the image distance. Now I be the exterior angle in the triangle OAM. Therefore, it is given by the sum of interior angles alpha and gamma. I is equal to alpha plus gamma. Similarly, the gamma be the exterior angle for the triangle ACI. In this case, R and beta be the interior angles. So we can give here gamma is equal to sum of interior angles R and beta, or R is equal to gamma minus beta. Now from the diagram we can calculate the value of tan alpha, which is front side divided by adjacent side in the triangle OAM. That is, tan alpha is equal to MA by MO, or alpha is equal to MA by MO. Since alpha is very small, therefore tan alpha tends to alpha only. Similarly, we can calculate tan beta is equal to MA by MI, or beta is equal to MA by MI. Since beta is very small, tan beta tends to beta only. Similarly, we can calculate tan gamma is equal to MA by MC in triangle AMC. We can get the value for this small value of gamma as MA by MC. According to Snell's law, the refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium is the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction. That is, sin I by sin R is equal to mu2 by mu1, where mu2 be the refractive index of denser medium and mu1 be the refractive index of rarer medium. Or, since the angle of incidence and angle of refraction is very small, sin I tends to only I and sin R tends to R. Therefore, I by R is equal to mu2 by mu1. Therefore, we can write mu1 I is equal to mu2 R. We can put the value of I, R, alpha, beta and gamma and replacing the m by p and rearranging this equation, we can get mu1 upon pu plus mu2 by pi is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by pc. Applying the sign convention with the values, the object distance, it is measured in the opposite direction of the incident light, therefore it is negative, therefore PO is equal to minus U, where the image distance PI, it is positive because it is in the direction of incident ray, therefore PI is equal to plus V, and PC, it is also measured in the direction of incident ray from the pole, therefore it is equal to R. By putting these values in the above equation, we can get mu1 by minus U plus mu2 by V is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by R. Now we'll see refraction at convex surface, that is when the ray of light is passing from rarer medium to denser medium to form the virtual image. In this case, we are placed the object O near to the refracting surface, U be the object distance, V be the image distance, mu1 and mu2 be the refractive indices of rarer and denser medium respectively, alpha be the angle made by incident ray with principal axis, where beta be the angle made by refracted ray with the principal axis, where gamma be the angle made by normal with the principal axis. In this case, we can write down mu1 by minus u plus mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Similarly, we can focus on the refraction at concave surface. That is when the ray of light passing from rarer medium to denser medium to form a virtual image. This diagram indicates the image formation, virtual image formation in case of concave surface. In this case, the above equation will be rewrite as mu1 by minus u plus mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Now, what is mean by this real object, virtual object, or real image or virtual image? This question might be in your mind. So, real object means when a diverging beam of a rays is incident on a spherical refracting surface, the point where the rays drawn backwards meet is considered as real object for refraction, where the virtual object means when a converging beam of rays are incident on a spherical refracting surface, the point where the rays drawn forward meet is considered as virtual object for refraction. Similarly, we can define the real image as if the rays after refraction at spherical surface converge to a point, that point is considered as real image, where virtual image if the rays after refraction at a spherical surface diverge, the point where the rays drawn backward meet is called virtual image. Now we'll see the real image formation due to refraction at convex surface when the light is passing from denser medium to rarer medium. This diagram indicates here object is placed in denser medium, the image is formed in the rarer medium, u and v the object distance and image distance respectively, where mu1 and mu2 be the refractive indices of rarer and denser medium respectively. In this case also, alpha be the angle made by incident ray with principal axis, beta be the angle made by refracted ray with principal axis, where gamma be the angle made by normal with principal axis, I be the angle of incidence, and r be the angle of refraction. In this case, the equation is given as mu2 by minus u plus mu1 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Similarly, we can study here refraction at convex surface for the formation of virtual image when the ray of light traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. For this case, the equation should be mu2 by minus u plus mu1 by v is equal to mu1 minus mu2 by r. And for a refraction at concave surface when the light is passing from denser medium to rarer medium, when the virtual image is formed in the rarer medium, the equation is written as mu2 by minus u plus mu1 by v is equal to mu1 minus mu2 by r. We can note the important points that expression for object in rarer medium is same for whether it is real or virtual image or convex or concave surfaces. That is mu1 by minus u plus mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Expression for object in rarer medium is same for whether it is real or virtual image or the surfaces may be convex or concave. The equation should be same. Expression for object in denser medium is same for whether it is real or virtual image or convex or concave surfaces. Means when the object is placed in denser medium, that time the equation is written as mu2 by minus u plus mu1 by v is equal to mu1 minus mu2 by r. Just to concentrate on these two equations. When the object is placed in rarer medium, you should write the equation mu1 by minus u plus mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r, or when the object is placed in denser medium, you should write down the equation as mu2 by minus u plus mu1 by v is equal to mu1 minus mu2 by r. However, the values of u, v, r, etc. must be taken with proper sign conventions while solving the numerical problems. The refractive indices mu1 and mu2 get interchanged in the expressions. In the next class, we will deal with lens and lens maker formula. Thank you.